one of the things that led me to prison and to substance use and to getting in trouble in the first place was a lack of self-confidence. And I love how somebody described this. I was an insecure egomaniac. So at the same time, I thought two different things: that I was the center of the universe and I acted accordingly, and also that I was absolutely worthless. And I did everything I could to numb and push that feeling away, and also add layer and layer and layer on top of it so that nobody could see how broken I was. So going into prison, I was hopeless. I did not think it would be a place that I would find a way, or I would find myself, or that I would heal, because it was a horrible environment. But what I found was the ability to be of service and to be useful. And initially, that was just working in the woodshop. That was my first job. And I realized that I could do every job they put me on really well. Even if it was a menial job, even if it was sweeping, I could do something well, and that began to build me up because I realized I had value. I could at least help someone or something. Then I realized I could help people, and I could tutor. And after I helped the first guy get his GED, that was the best feeling in the world. And I was like, this is what I want. I want to be useful in a way that somebody gets something of value out of it. And then I also had the ability to share knowledge because I was going to college while I was in prison. I was one of the really lucky ones. I started 7 months in at the jail, and for the next 15 years, I was working on a bachelor's degree until I finally graduated. So I had the ability, and I had knowledge, and I had experience, and I could be helpful. But what I realized was I was a big fish in a small pond. I'd had a lot of advantages and a lot of experiences and a lot of education that most people didn't have. So I had this fear that, yeah, I can be helpful in here, and I can tutor in here, and I can be of value in here. But what am I going to do when I get out to the world? Because I had this idea that everybody in the world had all their stuff together. Everybody was light years ahead of me, and I'd be just trying to catch up. And there are some people that I look up to and that are just light years ahead of me. But the vast majority of us, we're all struggling. We're all having the same issues. We're all going through the same things. And when I realized that I could be just as successful out in the world as I was in prison, and possibly even more so because I had a bigger space to grow to, I started to feel this real sense of confidence. And I still deal with imposter syndrome every time I go into a new space. At first it was like, bro, I'm not going to be able to get this job. Like, people aren't going to respect me. Or I'm not going to be able to be on stage. People aren't going to want to listen to me. Or I'm not going to be able to make these videos. Nobody's going to want to watch. But every time I did it, even though it was uncomfortable, because what somebody taught me is when I feel that doubt, the only way to find out is to do it. Whatever it is I'm afraid of, I'm going to continue to be afraid of until I at least try it. And if I try and fail, well, I can try again or I can give up, but at least I've tried. And for all those years before that, the lack of self-confidence was because I never tried, because I always believed in the beginning that I was going to fail. Why even do this? Because I'm never going to make it. And we run into this all the time with kids getting out of juvie and people getting out of jail, where we try to get them a job or we try to help them out, and they say, man, why am I going to do it? I'm never going to make it. Like, I can't do it. Why would I even try? And it's that failure of imagination and that failure of belief in themselves that keeps them from ever taking the first step. So I'm really grateful to the people who kicked me in the ass and made me take that first step on every different journey that I took, and that tell me every day, if I doubt myself, that I need to take that next first step, whatever it is.